I'm Jenny Carlson. The NCAA Tournament has come and gone from Oklahoma. Were the crowds disappointing?
I'm Barry Trammell, and I say the crowds were not disappointing. Live from the Pubco studios in Oklahoma City, this is Press Row. And Jenny, Sherri Coale was not pleased with the turnout at Lloyd Noble Center. No one was all that fired up about the turnout at the Ford Center, but I think it was completely reasonable, considering two things. One was the ticket prices. I'm not sure the NCAA realizes that we're in a down economy, but we do have a recession going on, NCAA. And also at Norman, it was late night with Sherri Coale. For crying out loud, it was 8:45 last night when you guys tipped off.
Yeah, and I thought it was actually going to be a little earlier tip last night, but it ended up being every bit as late as it was Sunday night. I get the reasons why, but I still think that these crowds were disappointing just because of the high standard that has been set to this point, Barry. I think if Oklahoma City regionals hadn't been sellouts before tip-off, I think if you'd not seen the big crowds for Oklahoma women's basketball that we had during the regular season, there wouldn't be that disappointment. But those things have been in the past. So the standard is so high, that leaves us a little disappointed. And you know what? I didn't mind Sherri Coale calling out the fans in Norman. I think she understood the dynamics. She talked about it more on Monday, the late game, the school-aged kids and families that aren't going to be able to be there, the spring break aspect of things. She got why the fans weren't there. I don't have any problem with her calling out fans because I think it sort of did maybe rally a few people to come out on Tuesday night that might not have otherwise been there.
Well, my problem with Sherri was I think her fans were there. I think the core, the base, the 5,000 or 6,000 who love OU women's basketball and are always there, they were there. They didn't get a lot of the extras. Ticket prices were double for the NCAA, $25 for adults, $15 for kids. I think $10 is the standard price at most OU women's games, so more than doubled the ticket prices. And the other thing is, on the Ford Center, the NCAA has the policy of all ticket prices are the same. If you sit on row 3, if you're Jack Nicholson seats, or if you're up in the nosebleeds, it's the same price. For crying out loud, are you going to pay the same for a hamburger as you would a steak? The answer is no. The discriminating college basketball fan, the discriminating sports fan, has become savvier in terms of what they'll pay and what they're getting. This is not 1968, where people just sort of don't have access to information. People have access to information these days.
Well, and I think, Barry, that's the one big thing that the NCAA is going to have to think about are those ticket prices. I mean, you're not only talking about men's regionals, which I believe it was $204 or something like that for all session, which if you think per game, that's not terrible, but yet you're going to see some clunkers of games. We frankly got a pretty good 6 games. I mean, there was a pretty decent reason to pay what you paid per game, but it's a pretty high price, and I think for the women's especially, I think the NCAA did right by going back to the pods and 4 teams at 16 sites. I think that was the way to go with those first and second round games in the women's tournament. But you have to make tickets affordable. It's not just to increase the fan base in those places, but on TV, Barry, I mean, if you turn into a game and you see 12 people in the stands, you're pretty unlikely to hang out and watch that game. But if the place is full, you might be willing to sit there, watch a little bit, see what's going on. I think those women's games, they've got to get a more affordable ticket. Do a $10 ticket. Think about how many youth teams would have shown up for OU's game last night, regardless of the tip time, if the tickets would have been a little bit more affordable. I think the NCAA has to think about that. Hey, stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoma.